President Joe Biden thanked the US fighter squadrons that helped in defending Israeli territory from drone and missile attacks launched by Iran. In a video posted on social media platform X, Biden hailed the US fighter squadrons as incredible. Iran launched hundreds of drones and ballistic missiles on the 13th of April in retaliation after a suspected Israeli strike on its consulate in Syrian capital Damascus. Most of the drones and missiles were down before reaching Israeli territory, though a young girl was critically injured. There are widespread concerns of further escalation as well. Two law enforcement officers have been shot dead in the town of Salina. According to local media, the officers were responding to reports of stolen vehicle when they were shot. The local media also reported that the shooter is dead. Meanwhile, the police personnel have been deployed in the area and the investigation is currently underway. The Israeli Defense Forces have released video showing strikes against Hezbollah's weapons manufacturing sites as well as military compounds in Lebanon. Lebanon's militant outfit Hezbollah said that it fired dozens of rockets towards Israeli military in Golan Heights after an Israeli airstrike killed one person in Lebanon. The early exchange comes at a time when Iran launched hundreds of drones, ballistic missiles on Israeli territory. In an unprecedented revenge mission for the 1st of April, Israeli airstrike on the Iranian consulate in Syria's capital, Damascus. The commander of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, Colonel General Alexander Syrskyi, has alleged that the Russian forces are aiming to capture the town of Chasiv Yar by the 9th of May. The capturing of Chasiv Yar will set the stage for an important battle for control in eastern Ukraine, where Moscow is focusing on its armed offensive. Chasiv Yar in the Donetsk region lies 5 to 10 kilometers from Bakhmut city that was captured by Russian armed forces in 2023. Kyiv is looking at its Western allies for the arms and ammunition. President Vladimir Zelensky has urged the West for more air defense systems like the ones it recently provided Israel against Iran's aerial attacks in West Asia. Zelensky said that air threats against Israel were also destroyed by its allies. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has arrived in southwest China's Xinjiang to begin his 3-day state visit at the invitation of Chinese Premier Li Qiang. Scholz was accompanied by federal ministers of environment, agriculture, along with senior representatives of German companies. This included Siemens, Mercedes-Benz, BMW. Beijing and Berlin are marking the 10th anniversary of the establishment of the all-round strategic partnership this year. Direct investments from Germany have grown by 4.3% last year. Over 5,000 companies are operating in China, which has been Germany's largest trading partner for many years. Flags were flown at half-staff around Australia as part of national mourning after a man fatally stabbed 6 people at a shopping mall in Sydney. The New South Wales police confirmed that the 40-year-old attacker had a history of mental illness. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese paid tribute to the victims and the bystanders at the meeting of his cabinet in the capital, Canberra. After Russia, China and Italy, now Japan is also reacted to Iran's aerial attacks on Israeli territory. Japan strongly condemned Iran's onslaught on Israel. Japanese Chief Cabinet Secretary Yoshimasa Hayashi issued a statement saying Japan is deeply concerned that the Iranian attack would further worsen the current situation in the Middle East. Tokyo has been strongly urging the concerned parties to de-escalate the situation. Hayashi said that Tokyo will make every diplomatic effort necessary towards this end. In India, the 2024 general elections are just 2 days away and Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in southern state of Kerala for the BJP's election campaign. In Palakkad district, Prime Minister Modi announced that the next 5 years, BJP will work to make Kerala a global heritage. And he also promised that the state will be connected with a network of highways, expressways, and high-speed Vande Bharat trains. The state of Kerala sends 20 parliamentarians to Lok Sabha and will go for polls on the 26th of April in the second phase. Iran has agreed to allow the meeting of Indian government with 17 Indian crew of the MSC Ares. This comes after Indian External Affairs Minister S. Shankar spoke to his Iranian and Israeli counterparts to discuss the release of the Indian crew from the Israel-affiliated container ship that was seized by Iran. The vessel has been detained in the Persian Gulf region. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps seized the Israeli-linked Portuguese-flagged commercial vessel in the strategic Strait of Hormuz. Among the 25 crew members are 17 Indians, 4 Filipinos, 2 Pakistanis, 1 Russian and 1 Estonian. They were en route from the United Arab Emirates to India's Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust and was intercepted by IRGC forces. The main accused in the murder of death row prisoner in Pakistan, Sarbjit Singh, has been shot dead. Amir Sarfaraz Tamba was a close associate of Lashkar-e-Toiba terror outfit founder Hafiz Saeed. Officials said that he was killed by unidentified gunmen in Lahore. Tamba was attacked by motorcycle-borne assailants in Lahore's Islampura and was rushed to a hospital in critical condition, but he died of his injuries. 49-year-old Sarbjit Singh died of a heart attack in 2013 after being in a coma for nearly a week following a brutal assault by inmates. The assailants included Tamba and the assault took place inside Lahore's high-security Kot Lakhpat jail. Several Pakistanis staged a pro-Palestinian demonstration in Karachi to express solidarity with Gaza and Iran in their conflicts with Israel. The protesters carried placards reading, "I do not recognize Israel. I am human, I am with Gaza," and chanted slogans, "Gaza liberation." The protesters also supported Iran's aerial attacks on Israeli territory. Israel's war with the Palestinian militant group Hamas has entered the 7th month, and according to the Hamas-run health ministry, over 33,000 civilians have died in the Gaza Strip due to Israel's military offensive. Saudi Arabian Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Abdullah will be on a 2-day state visit to Pakistan. This visit aims to boost economic cooperation between Islamabad and Riyadh. The visit takes place to expedite follow-up on the understanding that was reached between Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman during their recent meeting in Makkah al-Mukarramah. Sharif discussed expediting a $5 billion planned investment package. Pakistan, it has also been trying to secure Saudi investments in sectors such as agriculture, mining, minerals, and aviation. Singaporean Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong has announced that he will hand over power to his successor, Lawrence Wong, on the 15th of May. 51-year-old Wong is currently the Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister of Singapore and has been Prime Minister in waiting since 2022. Wong was appointed as Prime Minister in waiting in 2022. An election is expected to follow in the months after the transfer of power.
With 2 years.
The AHA Center, the ASEAN Coordinating Center for Humanitarian Assistance on Disaster Management.
In Indonesia, Sulawesi Island, landslides have killed at least 18 people. Rescue efforts are ongoing and the authorities are searching for 2 missing people. According to authorities, 2 people are in critical condition in the hospital. Landslides were triggered by high-intensity rain, which has so far affected 2 villages in the region. A resistance group fighting Myanmar's military rule said that its fighters have repelled an attempt by junta troops to advance on the key town of Mewadi. The town is along the Thai border. It was seized by the rebels last week. Reinforcement of junta forces have been trying to advance towards the town, but were pushed back in a battle about 40 kilometers away. A spokesperson for the Karen National Union, KNU, said. Cuban animal rights protectors held a traditional pilgrimage of the Caribbean country's Day of the Dog, demanding stricter legislation to combat animal cruelty. Activists, along with their pets, walked through Havana's cemetery with flowers and posters. They gathered at the tomb of the American philanthropist Jeanette Ryder, an animal rights activist who died on 12th of April 1931. According to reports, the first Dog Day pilgrimage to Ryder's tomb was held in April 2019.
La base de la institución
The Brazilian Federal Prosecutor's Office, along with Paris State's Federal Police, it's decided to open investigation following reports of a boat found with decomposed bodies off the coast of northern Brazilian state. The authorities are yet to confirm the number, nationality and cause of death of the victims. Elon Musk-led X has made waves in India by banning over 200,000 accounts in just a month. The clampdown on accounts is to deal with child sexual exploitation and non-consensual nudity. Apart from that, 1,235 accounts were banned for promoting terrorism. In total, X banned 212,627 accounts in India for policy violations. These actions, which were disclosed in X's monthly report, are in line with the Indian government's new IT rules of 2021. This crackdown follows a similar move made by X between January 26th and February 25th, when over 500,000 accounts were banned in India by the macro-blogging platform. Chinese scientists have developed the first satellite that allows direct smartphones to be made without the need of a cell phone tower. Scientists from the China Academy of Space Technology have created a method that allows satellites to pick up signals from standard smartphones without external antennas. Named Tiantong-1, the satellite series was first launched in 2016 and currently covers the entire Asia-Pacific region. According to Chinese researchers, this technology can play a vital role in emergency rescue missions by giving civilians access to communication. The satellite tech can help during natural disasters that cause traditional ground-based infrastructure such as cell towers to fail. The dollar steadied at the open, holding its biggest weekly gain since 2022 as escalating conflict in West Asia and the prospect of stubbornly high US interest rates gave support. The dollar went up 1.6% against a basket of 6 major currencies. Last week, after a small but unnerving upside surprise in US inflation cast out over bets on rate cuts. Meanwhile, European policymakers signaled a cut within a few months. The dollar made a 34-year high on the yen. It made a 5-month top on the euro on Friday and traded near those levels in the early deals today. China's central bank, it left a key policy interest rate unchanged. Widely expected when rolling over maturing medium-term loans and drained some cash from the banking system through the bond instrument. Keeping the medium-term lending facility rate steady underscores the central bank's intention to maintain currency stability amid a shaky economic recovery and push back on market expectations around the timing of first US Federal Reserve interest rate cut this year. Cooling inflation, slowing credit expansion, and shrinking exports in March all pointed to the need for more stimulus to revive momentum in the world's second largest economy. Japan's key gauge of capital spending jumped the most in a year in February. Rebounding sharply from the prior month's decline is a welcome sign for domestic demand, even as authorities worry about a weakening yen and its impact on the cost of living. Core machinery orders rose 7.7% in February from the previous month. It was the fastest growth in core orders since January 2023 and more than recouped a 1.7% fall in the previous month. Brisk capital spending should ease concerns about weak domestic demand as government and central bank policymakers try to stoke a virtuous growth cycle, which is also led by durable consumption and solid wage. The London Metal Exchange, it saw a spike in aluminum and nickel prices. This comes as a result of further sanctions imposed by the United States and UK on Moscow. The sanctions prohibit the delivery of any Russian supply of metals manufactured after Friday midnight. The metals market, already volatile due to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, these additional limitations will only make things worse. The sanctions are meant to limit President Vladimir Putin's military funding. Both aluminum and nickel rose significantly. Aluminum rose 9.4% to hit a level not seen since the current contract's introduction in 1987. Nickel surged 8.8%.